So welcome to this Yin and Nidra class, practice at the end of the week. Beautiful to unwind, give it a bit of a stretch. So today we'll focus on a bit more of the shoulders. You might want to have, if you have some props at home, some blocks, the blue one for the boys, the pink one for the girls, or whichever color you have. Or maybe books if you have books, or cushions, definitely a blanket or something warm for the end of the class, the Yoga Nidra. And if you have a bolster, you can have a bolster. We might see how it goes, but might do a bit of a back bend, which you can do with some roller, or paired with a cushion, or if you have bigger cushions. And when you're ready, we will start in a comfortable sit, so you can elevate with maybe some cushions or blocks to find a comfortable sit. So the idea here is, if you elevate, if you're not too open with the hips, is that you can relax as much as possible your knees down, and you can also use blocks. So we'll start to get into a pose. So last time we did the butterfly as a start with a little massage. Today a little bit different. Just be with me for a moment, might be a little bit tricky. So just like you would interlace your fingers, we're going to try to do the same thing with the feet. So that might require a bit more attention and help with your hands, but essentially you're trying to stick your toes in between each other. So pretty sure you're going to need your hands for that. If you can't, that's okay, but it's just like if you were to zip the toes together. So it's a toe zip. So essentially you should be feeling some pressure on the side of the toes like this, right? So all of the feet together, and just like the butterfly, you might not want to have your feet too close, otherwise maybe it's a bit too strong on inside of the legs, the knees, and again maybe cushions, blocks if you need to slightly elevate those thighs just to make it nice and easy, and rest there. If you have a bolster, once you're set up and hopefully your zip stays on, you might also use a bolster here to rest, or just simply take a moment with your palms relaxed on your knees, facing down or facing up. So those who don't have any hip issues and want maybe to work on more opening, any weight, bolster or hands on the knees to let those legs open. And we'll just take a few minutes here. So this is going to be our start for the class. So as I mentioned last week, working on the feet is a way to activate the meridians, the nadis, the energy pathways that end and start down into the feet. So we've got the lower ones of the body, about 6 of them, main ones here in the feet, and side of the toes that helps to activate that. So you might be already letting the breath relax and feel the breath going all the way down to the bottom of the abdomen, pelvis, maybe even down the legs, and maybe as you settle there and relax further, you might even feel it all the way down to the sole of the feet, the toes. Every exhale is going to allow you to relax into it, maybe feel a little bit more. So we'll just take this opportunity as an opening to get a little bit of a reminder, especially maybe for the few people that are new to the Yin class. If this is your first time, you've got 3 main principles that we use in the Yin practice. So we come into a pose, and as I mentioned, with all the props, the opening of the legs, feet further or closer, you just find your edge, what we call, something that works for you, so a depth into the pose that works for you, so that you're just at your limit. You want to be working about 60 to 70%, so not too hard, so that you're not coming into pain. We don't want pain, we just want a little bit of discomfort. For when we come out of our comfort zone, this is where change happens, growth happens. So we're just seeking a little bit of discomfort, feeling and connecting through the breath to whatever happens in the body, the change, the activation of energy. And once you've got that, second principle is, as much as possible, to try to remain still. When you find the stillness in the body, you will notice that only the breath moves. At the beginning, the mind will have some activity, but with practice the mind will also quieten, so that the mind can focus and bring its full and complete awareness into the breath, which ultimately leads you to a deeper awareness of the energies within, of how your very own body works. And the last principle, once you've got the stillness, is to hold for some time. So typically, for the Yin practice, we hold for 3 to 5 minutes. So this is a slow meditative practice. We take the time to get into our pose again, since we hold for quite some time. Not too much, not too little, just about right, 60%, so that you can hold it in stillness. But at the same time, just adjust, modify the practice. Be gentle with yourself. If you feel you need to release, it's too long, it's okay. With time, you'll become more used to the different poses and start to lengthen the holds, be more comfortable. Sometimes you also notice that you'll have better days than others. Maybe you'll be going to your next edge a little bit deeper throughout the pose. That's also okay. Ultimately, it's your practice. I'm just here as a guide. Or it's always quite useful to have someone that has walked the path before for guidance. You find what works for you. We just take a few more breaths here. Very conscious, deep, slow breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose. And gently opening your eyes. Now you can unzip your toes, release any prop that you might have under your hips, and maybe a little release windshield wipers, if that feels good. So you probably want to inhale your knees up to the center and exhale to the side, just a few gentle movements. So you try to move as slowly as possible, not engaging muscles too much, just feeling the release before we move into our next pose. So we start to activate the Jing, the energy in the kidneys, and warming up our shoulders. So we're going to get into a pose that might be a little bit challenging for some. We'll go slowly into it. So if you have tender knees, use a cushion, or you can also double fold your mat if you know that you need to have some cushioning, some padding there. Hip width distance apart, and you probably just want to have a bolster or a stack of cushions. Those who are very stiff, maybe a chair. Some people may be able to not use anything. We just start to stretch the fingers, hands flat forward. You might elevate that if you want more with maybe blocks. And essentially you're trying to keep your hips right above your knees, so you find an arch into the spine. Slowly starting to walk your hands forward so that you can let your armpits, heart, reach towards the earth. You can rest maybe your head on a cushion if you feel you need to, or even if you have bigger cushions, maybe your chest can land on a bolster or cushions for support. So again, that might take a little bit of time for you to work out if it's your first time or if it's a stiff day, who knows, to work out what the props you might need and where. And it's a good idea to rest your forehead on something. So if you're not reaching the earth, use a block, a cushion, whatever you might have available there. And you try to really breathe into your shoulders, armpits. So you're looking at leaning the lower back, middle back to arch, actually more the middle back, and feeling the stretch into the ribs, maybe even more the side ribs to the armpits. We won't be in this one for too long because this is quite a strong one. You should be feeling some compression in the kidneys here. And then onto the front and side of the body, so we're working on the lungs, the heart. Probably feeling a bit of warmth in the shoulders. As you continue to focus on the breath, really try to find more ease and comfort every exhale. Again, it's a strong pose, so don't worry too much if it's a little bit hard, a lot of sensations. Eventually, all sensations which you might label as painful, discomfort, will eventually pass. You just need to breathe through it. Take it one breath at a time. You focus on the next Inhale and exhale, one after the other. Just being connected to those sensations. Working on finding out the qualities of the inhale and the exhale. Observing any change with time, breath after breath. Any change that happens in the physical body. Maybe the energy body. Or even at the emotional level. And slowly you can start to come up, walking your hands back. So inhale, we'll stretch into a child's pose. So you might remove cushions from under your knees, and probably if you have a bolster, it could be a good idea to use it unless you are very open. So if you have a bolster or stack of cushions, you want to sit on it right under your pelvis, opening your knees out. And you can rest your chest on the bolster. So if you have a bolster, you probably want to adjust so that your chin can go past the edge of the bolster. That way you can keep your head straight. You don't have to turn one way or the other. If you're not using any bolster, again, you want to have maybe a block for your forehead if you can't reach the earth, quite possibly with your arms stretched forward. You let the hips relax towards your heels. So this acts as a counterpose from the previous back bend. So you breathe deep into your kidneys. And you just feel the release from this previous pose. You just take a few breaths here. So this is a rebound pose. Which allows the release from the previous pose. The blood, the liquids to flush back into the areas that we have compressed. If it's a bit too much for your shoulders, you can maybe have your arms slightly more to the side, elbows bent, or even maybe your arms by your sides. So again, you want to find any modification that works for you. And we'll release on an inhale, coming up with your head. You can swing your hips around to one side, legs forward. can cross your right leg on top of your left. You can either keep your left leg straight, or if you're a little bit more flexible, bending into your left leg. So again, in this pose, you can use maybe some support under your buttock if you feel that you need to. Otherwise, should be just about quite right here. And we just do a little bit of work on the neck. You can keep your arms extended by your sides, fingertips to the floor, just for some good support, trying to keep the spine straight, and reaching your left arm over your ear, the inhale, reaching further to the side with your right finger, bending into your elbow. You find just some little lateral stretch here, but you want to try to focus more so on the head relaxing and your arm just relaxing over your head, so you can rest your bicep onto your ear, bending into your left elbow. So you let your left arm relax completely. So you should be feeling good stretch onto the left side, the ribs, under the arm. And just take a few breaths here. We'll do a few more movements for the neck. So a few breaths in this position, where you feel the lengthening every inhale on the left side, softening every exhale on the right side. And inhaling, coming back, hands by your side. Take a breath to find a neutral spine. Crown of the head to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, you relax the shoulders. Taking any movement with your neck. You can tilt your head to the left if you feel a little release there. If you don't have any neck issues, you can even explore little rolls. Chin tucked in, out to the left. Watch out when you lean back with your neck, so maybe not too deep. Rolling over your right ear towards your right shoulder, and then tucking the chin in, so not too much, just little movement, exploring gently. You want to inhale as you open, slightly tilting back. Exhaling towards the right and tucking your chin in. Maybe rolling over to the other side. Inhaling, you open to the right and back. Exhaling to the other side and down. We take one more round. Inhaling back to center. Now we'll switch hands. So the right hand is just going to come to the left side of the head, just for a very gentle pull. You can keep your left hand grounded. So you're going to be feeling like you're stretching from your left fingers into your left shoulder, left neck. So just a gentle help with your right hand to work your right ear to your right shoulder. So we're not looking for so much lateral stretch this time. We're trying to keep your spine straight, and the area that we are targeting is really more so that part between the left shoulder and the left ear. So this is where you want to breathe. full attention is there into the neck. You send the in-breath to the left side. The out-breath relaxes the right side. So this meditative practice is for you to explore your body, sensations that maybe sometimes we don't have enough time to become aware of. And maybe even also the effect of physical actions on the internal parts of your being, physical, energetical, and also emotional. So just linger there for another 2 breaths. Releasing, coming back to neutral position as you inhale, long spine, exhale, release, releasing the legs so you can lean back again onto your hands, either taking another windshield wipers or maybe, if you can, knees together, give it a bit of a little squeeze, little gentle rounding of the back, tucking your chin in, so you might be stretching a bit more into the shoulders, shoulder blades, as you squeeze your knees into your chest. And we release, extending the legs, taking the other side. So left leg on top. Again, keeping the leg straight or maybe bending into your knee if that's available. Left hand comes out to the side. Inhaling the right arm up, and we find that lateral stretch reaching over your head, and you just relax your arm on the side of the head. Maybe you can let this left elbow bend, just trying to keep that left shoulder nice and loose to allow you to get into the lateral stretch. You want to try to make sure that you keep your right hip rounded as much as possible, so you don't want to fall completely to the side with your right hip lifting. So the lateral stretch, you should feel it happen from the midsection, the lower ribs, and upwards. Here, as you come in tune with the sensations on this side. You might start to notice the differences with the left and the right. Just becoming a bit more aware of tight spots, imbalances, maybe the breath is slightly different. Maybe the emotions. And slowly releasing on an inhale to lengthen again the spine. You can ground both fingertips to the side, and this time maybe just taking some lateral twist in the neck. You can look towards the left, so just trying to bring as comfortable as possible your chin over your shoulder. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to the other side. So move slowly so that you can feel the stretch in different parts of the body. And inhaling to center, we'll take a few more on the exhale. So moving slowly is limiting muscle activation, as we are targeting more so fascias and joints, the soft tissues. And coming back to center. Take the other side with the left hand. Gently start to pull the head towards the left. Again, you might be feeling that stretch all the way from the fingers, the right fingers, but more so from the shoulder to the ear. I, for myself here, feel it a lot more on the hip, on this side, the right hip, more than the left. But everyone's got a different body, different experience. This is your journey. And slowly coming back, inhaling, unwinding. You can lean back to unwind the legs. And we'll come onto our abdomen, so this is when it's going to become a little bit interesting. That's the strong pose, big pose, so just stay connected to the sensations, do what you can. see some blocks here. You probably want to have a cushion in front of you. So coming on to the abdomen, you want to extend your right arm out to the side in T-shaped position, palms down onto the earth. Extending your left arm, you turn your head to the left. You start to take a little twist and shoulder work, working the left fingers closer to your face so that you can push into the ground to start lifting the chest. You can start to draw your left knee towards your hips onto the floor. You might stay there if it's enough for you, or if you can go further, pushing a bit more onto your left fingertips, trying to keep your right arm in a T-shape, 90-degree angle. You can start to lift your inner left hip, walking your left foot a little bit closer. So you want to try to keep your left shin parallel as much as possible. That's where you might need some adjustment for your neck with a cushion. Otherwise you can just let your head dangle down, trying to relax your ear to the earth. You can rest your left arm in front of you if that's enough, or if you feel more, your left hand can go into your small back. If you still want more, you might bring your left foot behind your right leg for more opening. And some people might be able to go even further. Maybe the left hand can catch the right hand into your back. Try to relax the right ear to the earth. And if you are feeling really open and you still want more, maybe you can bend into your right knee, sole of the feet together, both knees to the sky. Just find what works. Relax there. Breathe into the shoulders, into the spine, maybe even into the hips. So this can be a bit of a strong pose, so don't hesitate to come back a notch. Can be quite strong on the front of the right shoulder, so just make sure you adjust to your own ability. We're only going to be taking this one for maybe just another minute. It is a strong one, but we hold a lot of tension in the shoulders, neck, so it's good to give it a squeeze, get the energy moving, maybe get rid of some knots. Take one more deep breath here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Very gently unwinding the way you came in, and you can come all the way back down onto your abdomen, extending your legs, and you can just overlap your hands, creating a little cushion, maybe in a diamond shape with your index and thumbs for your forehead, so that you don't smash your nose onto the ground. And just a few breaths in a neutral position. You can let your heels drop in, inside of the feet to the earth. Relax into the shoulders, relax into the lower back. Inhaling your head up, keeping your right arm 90-degree angle to create some space, and you can slide your left arm under your right armpit, trying to relax the outside of your left arm to the earth. So you're leaning your heart on the inside left bicep, forehead onto the earth, or if you need, again, cushion or maybe block for your forehead if you feel the stretch is a little bit too much and you need some support, not going too deep. Ideally, your left arm is straight, so that you're really pulling onto the outside of your left arm, shoulder, the back of the shoulder. You should be feeling that your left shoulder blade is almost wanting to pop out to the side. That should provide fairly good stretch to the shoulder, the back of the shoulder, which is where you breathe. And inhaling to release, hands creating a little cushion again for your release. Notice the release in the left shoulder and breathe there. Second side for this little sequence, extending the left arm again, T-shaped position, palm flat as much as possible. Extend the right arm, fingertips closer to your face, drawing the right leg up. You start to open, lifting the right body, maybe coming onto your side with your foot a little bit closer to your hip. Back of the right hand to your small back. Maybe even the foot behind, if you can open a bit more. At this stage, probably just make sure that your left arm is not losing the T shape, the 90-degree angle. And last stage, even though you're going further, you're sort of changing a little bit, because if you interlace your fingers, your palm not being flat on the floor tends to lose a little bit of the stretch in the front of the left shoulder. So just notice
where you feel the stretch more. But this is necessary if you want to get a bit more in that last stage from the lower back with both feet together, soles flat. So that's a bit of a different one there, more complete, working all the way down to the lumbar spine. Or again, anything that is enough for you. One side may be different from the other. Make sure you recognize that. And just breathe, nothing else to do. Breathe and observe. Slowly unwinding all the way back down onto your abdomen. Take a little rebounds. Breathing into the left shoulder. Belly things in. And last one, inhaling the head up, keeping the left elbow bent, slide your right arm under. So really reaching out to the left with your right fingers. You don't want to bring your right shoulder completely under your heart, just the arm. So that you cannot feel that your right shoulder is pushing towards the right as you rest your heart, your chest onto your arm. Inhaling back up. We'll take a little rebound. Hands together. Back to center. Just a few breaths there. Feel to this right shoulder. Neutral spine. And coming up, neck away to sit. We're coming to our new Yoga Nidra guided relaxation. So grab your blanket. You can already cover your legs, and this is where I say goodbye to you today. As we move into this guided meditation, I'm just really inviting you to relax completely, and you can go off, sleep if you want, and just stay in this position for as long as you want. So slowly for this guided meditation, just bring your awareness of the spine coming down as you come all the way down onto your back. So for this guided meditation, you just let your shoulders relax and just keep following my voice. Arms alongside your body, palms facing upwards, so you cover everything to make sure that you are not warm, probably just all the way up to your chin, nicely covered, nicely warmed up. And maybe lastly, a few movements with your legs, feet, just so that you relax into the legs, the arms, the shoulders. Maybe you can tilt your head one way, the other, little movements, so you relax completely. And bring your awareness back to the breath. We'll take a few breaths in through the nose, into the back of the throat, back of the neck, back of the heart, into the shoulders. And the exhale allows you to relax your upper body, shoulders, arms, neck. Let everything dissolve in the upper body. Bringing the awareness to your left hand. Breathing all the way down into your left hand. The exhale, the hand becomes heavy, and then the forearm, the arm, the whole left arm becomes heavy, weighing down your left shoulder. Breathing in your right hand, all the way down to the fingers, and the exhale relaxes the right hand, the right forearm becomes heavy,
the arm, the whole right arm, sinking in, pulling the right shoulder down to relax. Both arms are becoming heavier and heavier, allowing the shoulders to relax, shoulder blades widening down into the mat, sinking in deep. And you're feeling some softness in your shoulder blades, back of the heart between the shoulder blades, the upper shoulders, neck, back of the head, even though sinking down. They're feeling relaxed and soft, just like if you were lying down on silk, soft and beautiful to the touch. For the skin, and just like if your mat was cotton, you feel the body on this silky mat is sinking down into the soft surface, relaxing further and further. The whole of the shoulders, left and right, arms, left and right, the whole head, very soft and relaxed. So relaxed that you can almost feel as if each and every part was detached. Arms and shoulders separated, completely relaxed. Head separated from the upper body, completely relaxed. Neck is very soft. And this cotton is so soft that it feels like there is no bottom. You continue to sink in deep into a more blissful state, more relaxed. Maybe one part or one side falls quicker, relaxes more if it needs to relax more. Just like if they were completely separated, unaffected by other parts, on their own, relaxing completely. Softening to the soft touch of the silk on the skin. The muscles, fascias, tendons, bones, all softening in the cotton, widening. feeling so relaxed that they feel very light. As if each and every part was floating in the air. You're actually starting to lose the notion of weight. It's so blissful, each part so relaxed. That there is no gravity. There is no effort. It's floating as light as a feather. And in the air, floating around, eventually all parts come to the same point of relaxation and bliss state, so that even if there is no notion of weight, gravity, you feel that each and every part just makes one together, very harmonious, very beautiful. The sensation of energy, independent, at the same time universal. Complete, yet empty. Nothing, yet everything. Your whole upper body is relaxed, regenerated, healed, realigned. In its most blissful and harmonious state. And you just let it rest there for a little longer, or much longer, as long as you want, if you want to continue to enjoy this beautiful state in which you are completely relaxed, away from time and constraints. Just be there. Nothing to look for. No expectation, no judgment. Just be there. And I'll see you next time. Hariom Tat Sat.